Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Final Fantasy VII Remake playthrough. As we,
So, Ted, have you seen Walmart? Have you seen a Honeybee Inn yet?
No.
Oh boy, this is going to be fun.
this is gonna be fun, yes. uh, I've already decided on a
Punny name.
on a title, on a punny name for the part where we do the Honeybee Inn, and yeah, I'm kind of waiting to upload that part because the pun is too good.
I mean, it's this part, so.
Mm-hmm.
I love how everyone was like, "Don't spoil the Honeybee Inn. You are not ready for the Honeybee Inn," and everyone's reaction was, "I was not ready for the Honeybee Inn."
Yeah. Anyway, before we do that, though, the last side quest on Chocobo Sam's route is to go to the Colosseum and fight some enemies for him. So, a little bit of combat.
Which was a little redundant after you've already done the Hell House
Well,
stuff.
yeah,
but
it's clear that the Colosseum in Wall Market exists because there's so much non-combat going on in this part of the game.
They needed something for you to do.
Yeah. Just something to unwind with, really.
This also, I think, might have been a way to force the player to go back to the arena because they might not have known the other stuff exists.
Well, yeah, but at this point, you've already lost Aerith, so
screwed.
you kind of and you can always go back with Cloud and get Ascension later, but Planet Protector, no, unfortunately. In any case, down, down, down we go. I believe this is just a fight against some bombs, though, so it's nothing special.
Yep.
I don't even think I've encountered a situation where the bombs actually explode at me. So,
I was gonna say, all you're leading into, haven't even seen them. It's like, no, they can show up during the Fat Chocobo fight.
oh yeah, well, I think those are a different kind of bomb, like...
The same general idea, though.
Yeah.
all bombs explode.
Well, I mean, like, in past Final Fantasies, there have been bombs, and there have been grenades, which are bombs, but gray.
Well, when you put it that way, it sounds remarkably lame.
When are we gonna get to King Kaboom?
There was Mom Bomb in 4.
Man, that texture popping is getting distracting. I wonder if playing this on the PS5 smooths that stuff out because of the faster...
I have not tested it out. I finally just transferred all my stuff to my PS5. Oh my god, you don't have much disk drive space at all.
How much drive space do they give you?
It's 875.
That might
Yes.
actually be the hardest part of transitioning to a PS5 for me when I get one.
Speaking as a Nintendo fanboy, 800 gigs sounds amazing for storage.
I mean,
space.
it could be worse, John. You could be getting a Series S, which is a digital-only console. It only has like 500 gigs.
Well, Ted, putting this in perspective, games built for the PS4 and Xbox One tend to be a lot larger than games built for the Switch, which are designed under the assumption that you're either going to be downloading them to a dinky little portable thing, or you're going to be playing off a dinky little game
Yeah,
card.
I wish PS4, PS5 games were the size of Switch games.
Yeah.
Because I could put a whole bunch
I mean,
more.
the trade-off for that is obviously, like, weaker graphical strength, but like,
Yeah.
download it. Like, there are only a few games in my Switch collection that actually have what I would call a moderately large file size. Even Super Mario Odyssey was surprisingly small.
I think the only sizable games on a Switch are like RPGs.
It's like
maybe
Xenoblade, Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 11, I actually remember being impressed at how they were able to get that game down, because it's a couple hundred
Yeah.
gigs.
Oh yeah, just
On
just
PS4, and
make
it's like
all the textures
20, I
like
think.
200% muddier, and there you go.
Like I'm actually, but I'm still surprised and fucking impressed by Switch's compression.
Yeah, it does
able to
honestly,
fit all that
like,
in-
because Dragon Quest 11 is a good example. That game still looks fairly good on Switch compared to PS4. I mean, granted, I don't know why they needed to use the downgraded textures for the re-release again when they have the better textures from the original one, but whatever. We don't understand Square Enix most of the time. So,
Nope.
Well, a lot of stuff on the Switch is designed to run at a lower resolution, so they use lower res textures too.
yeah, but the what I mean is that the PS5
re-
and Xbox version use the Switch textures instead of the original PS4 textures, which I don't get.
Did it?
like, It does, yes. And we
That's
don't
why everyone
know
got it
why.
mad at Square Enix.
Yeah, and they also
It also has the worst frame rate.
Yeah, and they also took the original the original version off of the Steam store for some reason.
But doesn't the PC version use the better textures and stuff?
Not anymore. You can't get the
took it off
original
Steam.
version anymore. You can only get S.
Huh.
Square, why? Why are you like this? Just wait. Original Final Fantasy VII will not exist anymore in a couple months, and you can only play Remake.
No.
They'll break into your house
I
and
feel
steal
they
your
would-
PS1.
No,
version.
they make too much money off of 7 re-releases.
Yeah. In fact, that was the one thing that that was a big fuck you to Square a couple of years ago when they announced that they were bringing more in from Final Fantasy VII, and it was just the PS4 port
reason
of the
they'll
original game.
take original versions of games off the eShops and stuff is, all right, setting aside questions of game preservation, because we all want the buggier, less complete versions of Persona 5 for some reason. Let's see. Imagine that you're someone who doesn't know that much about games. You got your first system, right? And your first system happens to be, say, PS4. And you've heard good things about Dragon Quest XI. Dragon Quest XI is nice. But you don't know the difference between Dragon Quest XI and Dragon Quest XI-S, the newer version with more stuff in it and better music. So you end up buying Dragon Quest XI, even though S is already on the PSN shop, and then you find out about it like 3 weeks later off of a message board. Aren't you going to be mad at that?
Yeah, but at the same time, that is also the consumer's fault.
No,
to
it's not.
some degree. I mean, if you're not doing the research, and it's on the, especially when we live in a world where we have downloads, if you're going to search Dragon Quest XI on the PS Store, you're going to see both S and original, assuming that we're living in the situation where
Right.
both exist, right?
And what does S actually tell you on that search list?
Definitive. Well, the fact that it says definitive edition tells you that.
No,
it's
that
the
trails off
definitive
the
edition.
side, doesn't show.
Acetaminophen.
This is just an instance where it only applies to Dragon Quest XI because the title's too long to fit on the goddamn screen.
I mean,
but
it
if
shows it in the little icon on the search list, but it's in really tiny letters, so you might not be able to read it. There's no real easy way to convey that to the people. Now, there.
You see, shit like this is why your grandparents get you the wrong goddamn game
Yeah,
for Christmas. Just letting you know right now.
Ratatong.
Yeah, and that's
Ratchet toy.
another good example because you might not even be the one buying the game for you. So I mean, gift giving research. No one ever does it. When I asked for Final Fantasy VII for Christmas, what I got was Final Fantasy IX because apparently my mom can't read Roman numerals.
It comes after Final Fantasy V, Adrian's Revenge.
So
That's Rocky
my
7.
point is, unless you're going to have these publishers petition Sony to do a very specific thing just for them that lets them very meticulously link these two products on their store so that everyone who possibly buys it there knows exactly what they're getting into in a way that no other product on the store ever bothers to do, then It's way easier for the publisher to just take the older version of their product off because they know the only people who really give a shit about original Dragon Quest XI over Dragon Quest XI-S are the very niche audience who are big on game preservation.
Well, and they want better textures and frame rate shit.
Honestly, look, I think most of the Dragon Quest fans, probably not all of them, almost all of them would trade off the slightly muddier textures for the orchestral music, because the midis in the original are
Yes. Yes.
the midis in the original are very bad.
That is exactly the reason that I jumped on the Switch version when that came out. Of course, at the very least,
I mean, if Square were competent, you'd have both on the PS4 and PC, whatever versions.
I mean, look, the Japanese DQ market is weird in that in how they like things. It was a selling point that you could turn the voice acting off.
I guess if you want the old school experience, yeah.
I mean, the Japanese Dragon Quest fans will also literally nuke their Famicoms to speedrun Dragon Quest 30 faster.
I read about that.
That's probably going to end up being banned or its own
Category.
yeah, because the Dragon Quest 3 speedrunning community is it's a really popular game over there, on par with, or I think maybe even more than Super Mario 64. which goes to show, and there are glitches. And glitchless is the most popular run type by far. So
This is so like I don't know if this is a bugged scene that was only supposed to play on the Madame M route, because that has happened in games before, but like he's acting like he's only just found out that Tifa is in danger.
But we already knew that.
That's why he's trying to help, isn't it?
No, he already knows this, though, is the thing.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I know.
sure we had this conversation earlier on.
But he was acting like he just found out.
Yeah.
Okay, so Johnny here is very, very slow on the uptake.
It's almost like we had this exact same conversation, like earlier in this sequence.
The Korean barbecue was so bad it made him forget everything that happened in the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of Conrad Werner in the Mass Effect series. He's this Commander Shepard fanboy who follows you around throughout all 3 games. And there's a save import bug in the second game that causes him to always react to you as if you talked to him as a renegade in the first game.
Which is being an asshole, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes, so he imitates Renegade Shepard in the second game, even though you might have imported a Paragon file.
Dark Souls doors.
Like,
So wait, so even if you're a complete dick to him, he's still your fanboy?
yes. That's Conrad Werner in a nutshell. He just will not go away. But in the first game, like, you were supposed to be able to transfer both reactions over to the second game. They have the lines in the second game and everything for when he reacts to a Paragon Shepard, but because the save file itself in Mass Effect 1 specifically was bugged to always have the Renegade part flagged, and because it always checks the Renegade part before the Paragon part, that scene always comes out as Renegade in the second game unless you like go in and hack your save file to fix the bug.
That's still the case in the remastered version they
Well,
released?
the remaster version hasn't come out yet, so I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was already out.
No, they're just advertising it now. I'm really
Okay.
looking forward to that, though, because, you know, an actually well-optimized version of Mass Effect 1 would be a real novelty in 2021, I think.
But you remember to use the cannon?
Yes, I'll remember to use the goddamn cannon.
We're never letting that go.
No.
For the record.
Nope.
Dark Souls doors.
Just for that, when the remaster comes out, I am making you sit through the entire first game again. And you are not getting out of it.
Oh no, please, anything but that.
Anyway, so, like... Oh, it looks like the dress is ready. The scene you get for getting the worst dress for Aerith is...
It's amazing.
Wait, why? Because is the dress bad or
It's bad.
It's just low rent. You know, it's not a terrible dress. It's so low rent compared to what you get for doing everything.
It's like
But
a dress that could have been pulled out of any random girl's dresser drawer.
yeah, something you get from Kmart for like
Yeah,
$20.
so-
you know, it's. You know, but it's not. She doesn't get the red carpet. I think cats hiss at her.
And then she says, I really shouldn't say anything bad about this. You worked so hard for it. Didn't you? The joke being, of course, you did nothing. There is a mid-tier dress if you only do part of the side quests in Sector 5, but
Corneo's got certain tastes.
the top-tier dress on Aerith, though, is like... She comments about how gaudy it is, and Cloud's just like, yeah, sure.
woman pretty girl?
So anyway, we have Aerith's dress, but we don't have Cloud's dress. This is the point at which Aerith, in this version of the story, decides, hey, you know what? You'd look good in a dress too. You should dress up, and then you can come in with me. Bright idea, right? Light bulb. But,
Don't worry.
Oh no, it's different.
Come on. You'll see.
so anyway, yeah, we need to go deal with the dress for Cloud. And instead of running around all of Walmart looking for components that can be used to make the dress better.
We get to do something else.
Yeah. Okay, so what determines...
Okay, she's going down those stairs way too quickly in heels. All right. Like,
Also, Johnny rolled out that red carpet and she just walked back across it.
Yeah, for nothing. I was like, I spent all my money on that red carpet.
And now we have to roll it back up. And
It's a very good thing that we're living in video game land and the ground just has one flat solid hitbox because all of the dirt, all of the cracks in the cobblestones, all of the plants.
Listen, I never walked in heels. I don't know the experience of being fully trained in heels. But I got a feeling she'd be stumbling all over the place in this uneven terrain.
If we had to deal with actual like floor physics here, those like thin heels would constantly be like there's grading there. There's sewer grading. Here.
Yeah, she should not be able to just walk on that.
I mean, it's not as egregious as Devil May Cry 4, where Gloria is just walking along these wide metal gratings on the floor in her stilettos, and her heels are literally floating on air half the time because there's no ground under there for them to stand on. But it's kind of funny. I mean, they do put like in the original game they put emphasis on Aerith telling Cloud, "You should walk more nicely." And that's she doesn't actually say that here, but it's in his animation, just as it was in the original game, where he has to sort of mimic that womanly walk kind of thing, where he looks all prim and proper and is walking in a way he absolutely would not walk normally.
I think Aerith is way too focused on getting Cloud in this dress.
Of course.
She knows the plot and she has to get him into it.
Yeah, but she's also so into it too. Is also
she is. Watch her reactions during the Honeybee Inn stuff. Don't you want to say just crosses his arms and stands there. Okay. As I recall, it was you who wanted to do this first. I was ready to let her go and kick ass herself, but no, you were
this
like,
motherfucker straight out of a David Cage
no,
game.
she doesn't know Don Corneo, right?
Meanwhile, in Don Corneo's house, he's already like beaten down on the floor, and Tifa's just like kicking him in the stomach, asking him where the stuff is.
Repeatedly.
No, she wouldn't kick him in the stomach. Too much padding.
Too much. Oh well,
Yeah.
no, that would make it hurt more.
Right.
Though is the thing. Like all that soft, vulnerable stuff is where the real pain can happen.
Also very jiggly. This is one of those cases where the game's jiggle physics were applied to a fat man.
Oh man, I really love that in Tekken you have Bob, who also has jiggle physics. Just
Oh,
like
Bob!
the ladies
I
do.
also love Bob's entire story.
Bob's story is great in that he was once a pretty boy, and then he didn't like that he wasn't strong enough, so he built up bulk, and by bulk we mean fat.
Fat. He also wanted to prove that he was so talented that he could win a fighting tournament while being fat instead of being muscular.
Yep, you can get skinny Bob in Tekken Tag Tournament 2, and he's miserable the entire time. It's great. He's also like my favorite character to play, which proves that I am a Tekken scrub. So you know, I guess I'm a step above the Eddie Christie people, but you know, not by much.
I was gonna say that's not saying much.
So
Yeah.
there's this nonsensical thing where you have to guess the shape that she's trying to trace with her bee stinger. That is not a triangle. This is Johnny's father, by the way. We only saw this guy like once in the original game at Johnny's house in Sector 7, and I suppose we were supposed to be under the impression at that point that he.
I love that line because it describes our fan base perfectly.
I suppose we were supposed to be under the impression that Johnny's father got squished when the plate fell, but the subject of Johnny's father and mother never comes up when you talk to him later. So, yeah, I guess he just never found out that the Sector 7 plate fell.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Johnny. Also, in the original game, when you walked into the dressing room, you could talk to the girls who were applying makeup there. This was where you got makeup for your dress, by the way.
Yeah. Completely optional.
If you kept talking to them, they were just like, "Oh no, it's a creepy guy. Ignore him and he'll go away. Ignore him and he'll go away." And Cloud's just oblivious.
You would have been a fun distraction.
The memories. This area outside the wall market scene with the rooms is kind of here as a callback to the original game, but there's not much to it.
They also made one really weird change in the next room we're going to be looking into.
Well, they outright removed the tub with the burly men, as we discussed earlier.
and they changed it from being Domino in the room to Palmer.
Was it?
No. It was President Shinra.
Oh, it was President. I thought it was. I thought it was Domino. but-
It's the most fucking bizarre thing, probably in the entire game. I think I can get away with saying that. Where one of the room in this room specifically,
Palmer now.
you run into you see President Shinra cosplaying as a king, talking about the prophecy in the Promised Land, and there are like two Shinrig Zexter's like, does he have to do this every week?
I want to imagine Reeves' reaction to that.
So like, yeah, and then you can just barely see one of the honeybee women like on a table in front of him. So it's some sort of like really bizarre roleplay situation that he's into.
Yeah.
But I guess they decided that since we're actually seeing President Shinra a lot more in this game, it doesn't
be out of character for him.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit anymore. Like, we didn't really see much of anything President Shinra was doing in the original game. We talked to him like twice, and then the next time we saw him, he had Sephiroth's sword sticking out of his back. So,
all right, here we go.
Oh yes, the rhythm game.
Part 1 anyway.
What?
This.
Is this Hatsune Miku music?
Finally, I was about to
Basically.
say, yes, finally, all of my hours slaving away to become adequate at Hatsune Miku
He's
Project
snapping his
Diva
fucking fingers.
paid
It's like,
off.
nobody told him to do that.
Wait, is Cloud in a J-pop music video?
Yes.
That's the only reason I can think of is like before his time at Soldier, he was just all into that fucking J-pop scene. Like, I mean, I'm not judging. It's just I was just caught off guard.
I mean,
That's dangerous, Cloud.
he was told to practice his dance moves, but he has no dance moves, so he just pulls out his sword and does rhythmic slashes.
And then
with
there's
it.
just like a waiter behind him while he's doing this and just gets smacked in the face with the sword.
Soldier practice dance was a Honeybee Inn. 6 dead.
1 soldier squad. 2 soldier squads.
Okay, so there's not really much reward to doing well at the rhythm game here. If you do well enough, you get Andrea's earrings as a key item, but it's really just an item that says, hey, you do
You did the
rhythm
best.
good. So there's no purpose to having it, as far as I know.
All
Maybe,
right, we're
it's bragging rights.
finally here. We're at the Honeybee Inn.
maybe Andrea's earrings will come up as a save import thing in a future part. I don't know. It's possible. So if you can get it, by all means, but you don't need to do perfect at this either. You can get a few wrong notes and you'll be fine. There's no reason to do it over and over and over again until you get all of the notes perfect, like on Final Fantasy IX's sword fight minigame.
Even then, getting 100 nobles in the sword fight minigame isn't exactly super great either.
You get some good money for it, but
It was be really weird though. Zidane and Blank were doing the same moves Cloud's doing just a couple of minutes ago.
so anyway,
This part's amazing.
you were not ready for the Honeybee Inn. So, since it was kind of a cabaret club in the original game, they kind of made a cabaret club without a cabaret club inside it, which was really weird. So we have that now.
Fucking love Moulin Rouge.
So
Moulin
we get to
Rouge
watch
is
this.
an awful movie. Can we talk about that for
Yes,
a
it
moment?
is.
Because this is Moulin Rouge. This is all Moulin Rouge.
Well, this is better than Moulin Rouge.
I agree, but Moulin Rouge is trash. I'm sorry.
This is the
It
kind of
is.
stuff a cabaret club does. You know, big gaudy stage, gaudy costumes, dancing and dancing.
Look, I'm
and-
okay with that. I just think that you should have a comprehensible movie if you're gonna make a movie about one. That's just me, you know. Like
Yeah, I
that's
know.
just my opinion, man. But okay, that guy, that outfit. Wait, why are there ghosts? How are
Andrea
there ghosts?
Rodea. Oh, those are holograms. Yes, because
Andrea is absolutely fabulous in this game.
well, you say in this game, but he didn't exist in the original game, did he?
No, Andrea's new for a remake.
Yeah. He's like not even listening to the,
You know, he could have been the guy in the dragon costume in the gold saucer,
like-
as far as I know. So
not even listening to the situation. Just sure, I'll put you in a dress. Why not? It's like he had the idea before you did. It is actually revealed eventually that Andrea does know what's going on and is helping you out. He's just being really coy about it.
just gonna have some fun before things wrap up.
Yeah,
Look
basically.
at
Aerith's reactions are the best
Listen,
part
this
about
whole
this,
thing
though.
just seems like one of Aerith's weird kinks, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
the look Cloud gave her just then, where he's just like, "Ugh, I hate you."
No, my favorite shot of Aerith is when like she is giddy with what's about to
She's
happen.
practically hyperventilating at one point.
Yeah.
Rhythm game.
My favorite reaction to that is someone isolating that clip of Aerith hyperventilating, and it's like when your pizza's on the way in the diner.
Anyway, if you played Hatsune Miku, this is harder. I'm just gonna say.
What makes it so hard is because they're so
camera changes
the
so
camera
much.
views are so cinematic,
Yes.
and like you need to be looking out for the button prompts. And granted, they're glowing pretty
But the
bright,
deception-
so you can see
The
them.
depth perception's really off.
Yeah.
Well, it's because the button prompts are actually physical objects within the game world rather than overlaid. So basically, don't pay any attention to the moving like Navi
Lights.
fairy.
Yeah, don't pay attention to the dance scene, but that
You
that's why I find it
want to
so-
watch the dance scene because
Yeah, I want
it's
to watch Cloud dance.
Yeah.
All right, basically, when you see the button prompt, just wait for the circle to shrink down on it and look for that. Don't bother trying to depth perceive the Navi fairy because that's not gonna work.
Yeah. You're waiting for the ring to enclose the button prompt. That's when you press it.
There aren't really that many button prompts though, so in any case,
They knew you wanted to watch.
Yeah,
it.
so these tracks are separated. All of these tracks are separated in the official soundtrack of the game. My favorite, I think, is the one after this. It's called Vibe Valentino. And then we get the Honeybee Inn theme reprise, which is so fucking good.
Okay, you know what? I was ready for the Honeybee Inn. Like, I'm gonna be that guy, and like, yeah, this is bizarre. Don't get me wrong. I don't think
we haven't gotten to
expected it.
we haven't gotten to the best parts yet. So
What do you? Okay, look. How many best parts can there be in this stupid thing?
a lot. You'd be
Look,
surprised.
Once I got used to the fact that Cloud was going to be doing Hatsune Miku. God, why is that hard to say? It's just like I don't know what they can do to really like pump up the jam here.
I will kind of go along with Ted saying this only has significance if you played the original game. Because like the shit that look at what Cloud is doing now. Like, did you ever get the idea that he was this kind of person in the original game, or any Final Fantasy VII compilation game for that matter?
no, because he's a huge dork in the original
No,
7, and
exactly.
Square doesn't like to remember that happened until now.
Like, he is a dork, like an absolute dork, and I fucking love it.
It's done. We're here. It's gonna happen. I got one bad note. I'm not bitter.
Do it again.
Nah.
No, but Lewis, that's the entire point of the song. Life can be hard. Life can be bitter.
As long as you get enough good and great, you will get his earrings during the next scene. What the hell?
Love beam.
How did you do that?
Wait, that's what you're questioning? Not the didn't you see Cloud? So it might be the anti-medics, but did you see floating triangles and circles while we were doing our number?
It's kind of like how in Naruto fan fiction, whenever Guy and Lee do their little hugging in the sunset scene, there's a running joke among the fan fiction community where the characters can actually see that, and it's actually some super secret advanced genjutsu. So, just an illusion spell that they cast whenever they hug.
They got a shoe size down already and everything. What the fuck?
That's that reaction. Yeah.
Man, Cloud, your shoe's small. Your shoe size is way smaller than I thought it would be. Okay, you know what? He doesn't look as girly in this version as he normally does.
There are actually, I want to say, 5
There's
dresses?
3 dresses.
3 dresses?
There's 3.
There's
now.
right. There's the you didn't do much dress. There's the you did everything on Chocobo Sam's route dress, and then there's the you did everything on Madame M's route dress. So these don't actually affect anything. It's purely cosmetic because Cloud will always get picked by Don Corneo in this version.
Yeah. I don't remember because this is the dress that I unlocked too.
Yep.
Is one of them just the original dress from 7?
I think there is one that's closer, but we didn't see much
Yeah.
of the original dress in 7. So
Actually, I can look it up now. Give me a second. Literally the first fucking thing that showed up in the search bar when I type in Final Fantasy VII Remake Cloud dresses.
Well, you know,
Really?
that's not that surprising. Let's be honest.
No, I'm not. It's just like, I mean, it saves time.
I like the inspirational speech he gives Cloud at the end there about how beauty is an expression of the heart to which notions of gender don't apply. Never be afraid. It's like, okay, yeah, but that's not why we're doing this.
Listen, I'm just trying to save my friend.
Do you think Cloud keeps the dress after everything's done?
Probably.
I mean, yeah, we should have a scene where after they get to Costa del Sol and Barrett's checking himself out in the mirror as the sailor guy, in the sailor suit. In the next stall over, it's just Cloud looking at himself in the dress again. He's like,
fucking singing the Honeybee. It can be hard. It can be better. What are you singing?
I mean, honestly, I don't really like the way that dress looks on Cloud. I think he could do better.
So the other dresses, the closest one we get to the original is the very shimmery purple dress that he can wear with the black trim, which is close to the original. I don't like the wig that he's wearing though for it.
It doesn't look like a wig. It just looks like he tied on braids to the back of his hair.
Well, no, that I'm talking about for I'm not talking about this specific outfit. I'm talking about the ones that you can also unlock. The other purple dress that he wears comes with a very rough wig around the edges where he looks more. Oh my god! I squint my eyes and he's lightning. And I don't like that one though.
You know, John, that lightning comes from a cloud.
Yeah, I saw a tweet earlier where someone was like railing on how lightning isn't Cloud. It's like she was specifically designed to be female Cloud. Sorry, but that's just how it is.